Hello, hello. If you guys gonna watch this later, this is just a little audio test. Okay. I see my bar is back. What I have realized that I cannot change my audio settings in the middle of the stream, the live stream. So when I disconnected my Blue Yeti mic, I could not reconnect it and just set the settings back. I'm sorry for previous weird live stream. There's always weird with me. I'm kind of a queer in that sense of being weird. If queer the word queer, as I understood, I got that culturally. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, queer is like weird. I've always been a queer. I've always been the weird one. Okay, it's good now. Good. So I wanted to share my Christmas tree and stuff because Christmas is coming, and I guess is it this year again the discussion about happy holidays or merry christmas bullshit again. I hope not, because I've heard that way too many years. Okay, but if anybody does that, and I know Andrew is the one that sometimes bring me memes and interesting conversations, and subjects, topics for us to philosophize about, is he has said someone was holding him for being an atheist celebrating Christmas, you know. And I'm going to say, like, no, there no religion has benefits. I don't know if I told you guys this. I don't want to be super specific, but recently it's very common in all my circles. There are a lot of people from different religions, and sometimes from no religion at all. And sometimes people get offended of me just contesting some supernatural being, and they think, oh, you attacking my personal best imaginary friend. And recently I've told someone, when she came to message me saying, like, I get very offended of your way, your behavior of attacking my God. And I was like, oh, you think your religion or your God has any benefits? Don't think so. Don't think that, because I don't give any religion any benefit. I offend all of them the same way, you know? So, and in the same sense, I am completely free to celebrate all the religions, different from all the little, uh, smaller, or bigger religious group, no matter which size. They are exclusionary, segregational, and they exclude other people and the other rituals. We atheists, we're free. We can celebrate all the, supernatural, imaginary holidays. Ho- uh, some Christians or super religious people that don't celebrate Halloween, we can do it. We can celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We can celebrate all the saints. We can celebrate all the Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever other Christmas type, of ritual or religious ritual. We are free to do so, because they are just myths, legends, and fun moments, celebrations. I think the best way to say, if you actually hold any of the traditions, as I do at home, Christmas tree or whatever, gnomes or elves or bunny rabbit or Easter bunny or whatever, is to say that is a tradition, is a ritual that we do for the gifts, for the presents, and not only for, and mostly for, the social encounters and relationship. Of course, COVID came and pooped all over the place, or let's say not COVID, but the politicization of COVID. It's kind of putting, the foot on everybody's celebrations. And I'm not going to enter that discussion because I'm a physician and I think that is completely fucking bullshit and ridiculous. But I'm not here to talk about this at all. I just think people should not be excluded for being atheists of any religion celebration. I still go to baptism of friends, of kids of my friends, The same way I go to their religious ceremonial for their marriage, you know, or whatever other thing, wedding ceremonies, baptism, in church, or Christmas party, or Thanksgiving, or Easter, parties, whatever. I think if there is any religious person that would exclude us or other religious from person from other group of their ritual, would be even against their doctrine, or their, it would be counterproductive to the way that they want to evangelize. They want more people to come, so they should be welcoming people and not excluding people. And if people still behave in this way, if I say anything about, oh my gosh, Santa Claus, I don't think Santa Claus is real, and you get so offended to the point that you don't like me as a real person next to you, saying that just because I doubt it, you're gonna dislike me, a real person, because of a supernatural. You see the level of importance that you're giving to people, and to maybe non-existent beings, maybe. And I'm not saying they don't exist, I'm just saying maybe they don't exist. And then you're putting gods and angels, a sense, over people that are real. When I talk about objectivism is the best answer, sometimes is looking at that spectrum of what we can all be sure. And so far about the gods, we cannot be sure if they exist, or if there is one, and which one is the real one. But also, I'm here to talk more. It's just like I love talking to people, and I know people are there, and to do this exchange. So, just way too much. Ah, we should go live again. We should. Let's do it on Instagram, and then I can show my tablet from the camera of my phone, from my phone. It's not even like that, like it's not fuck everybody, or no. I think when people, for example, if you fight me for God and you exclude me from your social circle because of a supernatural being, it kind of proves me right, when I keep saying that religions and gods are bad, or the things that keep segregating humans more. It's like we should be all just people. There's no color, there is no soccer team, or whatever team, or be too patriotic about your country, or about things that there are things that you have control. But mainly when you talk about inherent things, like I was born in this religion and this color and this, and of course you can change your religion, but there are other things, like the ones that even the identitarianism that we talked before, is like it's evil, it's bad, because you should not be. I don't think I should be ashamed of my color, of my race, of where I was born, things that I did not have control. Why I would be ashamed or even proud of things that I have no control? I should be ashamed and proud of my acts, that those things depend on my behavior, those things depend on my way of thinking and my acts, you know. The rest, the other things that I can't control. Now, religion, it's partially, you can, there is a point in life that you have control over it, that you like, yeah, I was indoctrinated. Even if you were, so many people made out of religion, even being heavily indoctrinated. Look at Matt Dillahunty example, Seth Andrews. Those are people that were raised indoctrinated and really strongly believed they were. People can claim the little fallacy they were not real Christians, the non-true Scotsman fallacy, but they were people that read through the Bible, only consumed that religious content, strongly believe, and had the connection with God. And everybody had this connection or this feeling that we think we name Holy Spirit. I have been in church for very long trying to find God, and every time I felt empathy or see someone crying close, I was like, that is Holy Spirit. No, this is being human. We are moved by emotions and feelings. That is a big part of our being. We can't be only reasonable and rational. We can't be only logic. We have not been able to isolate and use only that. Okay. But knowing that we're emotional doesn't make us like, oh, we should be driven by emotions only. No, that's why we are intuitive beings that can stop and not punch someone in the face just because someone said something bad, because that is not proportional, reasonable response. Is not a logical response to someone offend you with words. You can defend you with yourself with words, and the legit defense would be like if someone goes physical. So you don't punch people in the face because they offended your mom, just saying like because the pope once said that was fine. And like you see the morals of coming from even leaders. And I don't want to say like, oh, bad church because the pope said something bad, because he's just an individual. But you see that is the double standards of it that you see in the Bible that says, don't kill, but when I tell you, because how could a God be so loving and so powerful and so knowing and so everything and tell people to do evil things? And it has happened all over the Bible. Anyways, I don't know why we end up talking so much about this, but I think the people that jump on the live stream or from also atheist Republican stuff. Also, I think that brings a good topic because I don't get bored of going back and listening to my audiobooks on. Yeah, now I'm like just doing like my personal propaganda, because you guys know I don't make money here on my YouTube channel. So when I suggest or recommend anything and product or things that I personally buy and consume myself, and I don't make money of like telling you guys to go consume either, because I would love to. Can I be sponsored by some of those companies of products that I actually use? It would be amazing. But no, I love Audible. .ca, and I download the books that I have read and books that I will read or buy still, because I don't get bored of listening to people, mainly when they are the writers that wrote the books reading their books. So it's like listening to their thoughts inside their head, but like them sharing that with us. And I love James Lindsay. I really want to interview him in the future again. He is brilliant. Okay, not kidding. Peter Boghossian, and I can't get bored of his book. Everybody's wrong about God, because he says so many things that triggers me to agree and at the same time disagree, depending on the perspective you take. So it's something that I really will need to dissect. Probably not with him. He will not have so much time to do that. But I would love to do here or on any other page that, maybe on the OnlyFans, maybe if I do more the the Naked Book Club there, and the Naked Coffee and Weed. You guys go check the Real Coffee with Scott Adams. That's who I kind of plagiarized a little bit to make my Naked Coffee. He is pretty amazing. And of course, talks a lot about politics. That's not my area. And mainly, I don't tend and I don't enjoy that much. Okay, more in the personal level, but not in the public level. It's just, imagine if all of us decide to talk about our opinions in politics online. It would be just a mess. But super defend everybody's right to do so if they want. So you guys have a great day. What can I do more? You then just like, oh, I'm sorry, I just came here to test my audio and and the image and the sound, and that's it. Hi Marcy, how are you doing? Is this Andrew or Marcy watching? Yeah, right now. Let me show you my. Let's jump on that Instagram live. Okay, let me show you. Look at this, pretty. Is this not awesome? Yeah, baby. Technology is amazing, huh? I can't. Let's make like more than pool club. I wanted to do something else. There is another project I never put yet in practice is the movie review, and there are some movies from old times that I would review just to talk about philosophy and reality and imaginary things. Like, you want to be supernatural, which being would you like to be? Things like that. And I would say The Interview with Vampire is one of my favorite movies, and philosophically I disagree with it. I would never get tired of living. I would love to live forever. You know, one of the people that I follow, admire, have interviewed 2 times in my channel, considering kind of a friend of mine and an amazing person. It's David Silverman, and I can't record which one specific of his so many videos. He talks about how he wanted to live forever. That was his dream. And, the best thing that could ever happen is for him, his wife, his kid, to be able to live forever. And I was just so touched by that speech, because I just feel exactly the same. I just feel like, of course, is an amazing thing. It's what probably gives the most value to life, to be unique, to be a unique event. Every day is unique, every second, and you have to do and be, and give the best of yourself to make it worth, because you're not going to have another chance. And that is what is beautiful from being an atheist and not believing you have another incarnation or you have another chance or you're going to live forever happy in some other place, another dimension. No, here is the important, is giving life the real importance. So you don't need any other thing to give meaning to your life than the life itself. Okay, but I would never get tired of living, because we have produced, made, and we have so many skills and things that we still can do, and you know, and experience that. I would never be depressed of being a vampire and living forever throughout the times, even losing people, because we come and we go all by ourselves. We need to learn to live by ourselves. We need to improve our individuality and be independent and be able to live by ourselves. And even I would say, like I always said, like even if I live forever, I might not have experienced everything. And that is my idea of, like, I could never be like the vampire, depressed and tired or bored of living, because there is so much to learn, there is so much to experience. Okay. I only played 2 instruments in my life. I only fought 2 types of fight. I dropped pretty much everything, and I still have so much that I want to learn and do. So it's like, in technology, so much we're still gonna make. We're gonna so much to see, so much to come. So philosophy, it's something amazing, and life itself. So enjoy. You know, make it worth every day, and plan the future, or you never gonna, because what is something, when we all die, or whenever one of us die, we all feel sad, and we feel like we need this consolation that him or her or whatever went to a better. No, the end was never the important part. We all gonna die. Death is not important. Life is important. And the problem with religiosity is like a lot of people live their lives building up for this other life that maybe doesn't exist, instead of make this one worse. There are a lot of people just living their lives every day waiting for the day they're gonna die and meet God. What if God doesn't? Okay, they are not gonna feel anything, because for me there's nothing after. You're going to the same place where you were before you were born. Your conscience did not fucking exist out of your brain and will not. Okay, so I just want people to live their lives happy. Imagine this. Imagine someone, let's say a gay person that lives his entire life like, oh yeah, the sin is if I commit, so I can't even be gay as a person, but I will never experience that to not please my God, and live their entire lives punishing themselves, not being themselves, expecting the paradise, this heaven, this thing that maybe doesn't really exist. So what I believe is, objectively, what we all know is this reality is what we have. Maybe there's not other place to go. Let's not get, let's stick what with which what we have, and live this well, live this life well, and a good life, instead of put our coins to this next paradise or whatever that might not never come. And yeah, a little bit on just my thoughts on all the things. I see some old people that they live every day just talking about how they're gonna meet God. It's like, what about doing your everyday stuff? What about being good around people? What about being good to other people, really? And I'm not accusing. And actually, recently I've had this conversation even about public figure that splits a lot of opinions. It's Maitre Teresa of Calcutta. Hitchens has had made that amazing video and talked and written about her, how evilish she was, but in some way, hello, welcome. uh I don't think religious people that even do bad things in name of God are actually thinking, it's not intentional. I understand there are a lot of grifters. I understand that Malafaia or other evangelical pastors in Brazil that just make money, that are there just to gain more power and money. They might have an idea that they are more fooling people than helping. But maybe Mother Teresa, she was really trying to help people in this sense. And I'll try to defend her, because we see by behavior where the results of her getting rich was not for her personal gain, as those evangelical pastors. Okay, so I'm going to defend her in the case of all her money went to church. It should go maybe to clinics that would in fact help the people that she was putting more in suffering than help, not giving them medicine, reusing needles and syringes, and putting them in much more risk than helping them, and much more suffering than actually helping. And I would even say that maybe there was a subconscious sadomasochism involved there, because people that really like to just pray still see people suffering. I'm sorry, that's kind of weird to me, because as a physician and a doctor, the thing that we need to work on is our empathy, is to not get too stressed in a moment of need, in a person suffering, in a face of agony or pain. Be able to be professionals and not, just break down with the family of your patients, or sometimes do, but you are trained, you wired during this time to do. Now there are people that just want to help, and they are helpless too because they are not actually giving any help. Sometimes they are just forcing the people. It's like the mom that's like, the kid needs medicine or transfusion or some real medicine, and she's like, no, I'm gonna just pray and let my kid die. And we have so much to discuss about this in religious and medical field. But I think the people that do that, they, I'm sorry, we should maybe do a little triage in their cycle, okay? Motivations. So it's like, let me see. Is it possible to be happy in Christianity? It might be, because a lot of people are convinced, truly convinced, that that is true. It's like the problem with the atheists doing the generalization or statements that can sound generalizing is when we don't say okay, it's super boring. I'm gonna probably just wear a shirt said, one of Devon's shirts, AIU, not all, because I should not need to say not all the time. I'm not trying to generalize, and I'm very trying to put in the sense that, look, I don't know how much is the percentage of people that honestly believe and preach, and the people that are using that as grifters. Okay, I believe there are both. We should never generalize in any of the sense. People that happily live in Christianity, yes, I believe. Look, I look at my grandparents. I look at friends of mine that are really smart. Not just talking about my grandparents that, they are ignorant people in the countryside, like farmers. That, no, I don't want to be condescending, because I see other examples of people that have education. My brother, friends of mine, people that have been in higher levels of education than me, than myself, and still use that sometimes with all the skills possible. Oh, it's emotional clutter to go through my routine of seeing people dying, this and that and whatever. They honestly happy? I hope so. I think people should be happy whatever I think people will be happy to do whatever they choose. And that's why I'm so uh that's why I'm so for freedom, like I defend so much the individual freedom, because I think no matter what you do, like he said, you can die happy if you believe so. I've actually seen um uh, something. It can be, I don't know. I've passed through different. Probably cannot tell what is my feeling like throughout all this time, because it might have felt differently every time I think about this story. But I've seen parents losing their child, and honestly, just say it was being received by God right now, and they did not even cry. I don't know. Are they happy? They might be happy. They might really believe that the kid just suffered momentaneously, and now it's in the best place ever. And that's what actually I always doubted a little bit of most of people beliefs, or the cognitive dissonance, or maybe the rational, intuitively thing that is still in everybody's head and mind, even if they don't think about that. It's like, why people would cry and suffer to think they are sick and gonna die when they believe God? It should be different. Mm. It should be like people go like, let's say about a silence for old people, or for people with like just palliative treatment, like cancer, or Any other treatment that you just like go there, visit, or grandma or auntie gonna die, maybe today, maybe next week, it's about to happen, like those situations. And people are very, very strongly uh, strong believers, those scenes. We should, I'm just thinking like about the honesty of the epistemology, the method. It would be what I believe it would be like, okay, let's go visit grandma. She's gonna die finally. Like not that like finally, but like at least with more excitement. They say, yeah, let's go. Let's go write some letters and her memory is weak, but we want to send a lot of notes to all the other people that have died that are in heaven with God and her. So can we just try to pass a message through, and then they all go to the hospital and around the bed, they're all happy, praying, but happy, not crying, happy. Like, oh, grandma, you finally gonna meet God. I'm so happy for you. How excited are you? And she's like, oh, I'm just so excited, guys. I can't wait to, not get rid of you guys, but to really go meet God and just go re-encounter everybody. Oh, I miss grandpa so much. I'm sorry, guys. I can't, just so much excitement. And that, you guys following me. I believe that should be the normal behavior. If you really believe that is the best place in the entire universe of dimensions, okay? In the multiverse, the best place is heaven with God and everybody that we're good in your life and that are going to be there too to live the eternity in that amazing place. Why would you even cry? Why the people that say would cry? No, makes no sense. What makes sense? No, I'm just saying about being consistent to the beliefs, because at least, for example, my grandma, she was a Buddhist, and everybody died. She cried what they do, and then she would clean everything, and then there was a little altar in her bedroom, and then she would have this little plates, wooden plaques. I don't know how to say. Uh, that would be like with the names of the people, and she would put food and and do stuff and give them stuff that they like the food they like, and go to the cemetery and bring flowers. And sometimes like the people that like money, she would even dig a little coin close to their place and celebrate their memories in a good sense, like it's not that like, oh my god, every time I think of this person dead, it's like it's gone forever. It's like, well, that would not be the behavior, but whatever, who understands? They are not consistent anyways, never been. Hola. Oh, happiness. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, no, like I said, there are happy and unhappy people in all the beliefs and all the thing, but that it would even end up in the personal level. Hmm. If they really oh, I see what you mean. Okay, it is like an oxymoron. How can you really believe things in the Bible and be really happy? Well, at some point it might cause you some distress, but I guess they keep going just fine with it. I have examples all around me. Keep it keep it gay. Well, the gay conversation that we had before was pretty interesting because I was going. I don't know if you guys saw that. The gay conversation was talking about philosophically speaking and realistic speaking. Are people really 100% homo or 100% hetero? I think it's more like the political compass. There's these nuances, and there is like, well, look, it has to for you to have some type of affection towards other people. It's not just to look nice. not just to look good, you need to be nice as well. It's like behave. So it's like even in the family level, or sometimes we let go of some family members because the relationship is unbearable, and there is no such a unconditional love. As I mentioned before, it's like, oh, this idea of being altruistic and love everybody just for being people, it is until you meet. Of course, I wish we all the best things. I understand there are good and bad individuals. As we go through life, we select them. And the best thing is to know people more. So that's why I always say, like, freedom is the best thing. I would love the racist to be racist, to be allowed to be racist, so I could see them and exclude them from my relationship. It's the same thing about the homophobic, same thing about the transphobic, same thing about whatever. People should be free to be themselves. And that's how we would honestly and realistic segregate people by social values, but in a free way. In free way. There's no government. I'm going to put you in jail if you speak your mind, unless you are harming some people, inciting violence, or stealing, or really transgressing with other people's properties, individual properties and rights. But in the other sense, like socially, I think we should be free in that way. And I don't know. I guess that is one of my unpopular opinions. you know what do you guys think of it? My coffee is almost in the end. So have you guys seen Real Coffee with Scott Adams? Oh man, I really would love to interview him, or at least to sit with him or other people now, more because of the election and all this. Oh, it's so going crazy over there, huh? And who is not curious to know what is the truth, and who is speaking the fucking truth? Should we believe mainstream media? How many times, or even like anything like it, what history has showed us? Let's try to be more consistent about like political science, or not just trying to guess things. Let's see, like, when mainstream media in the past told us about any motivation, intention, or anything related to politics, mainly is external politics, what is our experience? They were lying. Is that yours too? You guys felt like that about I don't know, the war in Iraq, this Middle East bullshit thing that has been happening forever, for decades? What is the reason why they are still there? Was because of Saddam Hussein, and then after, what is the fucking real reason? Maybe I'm gonna be canceled, but I'm not just. That's why this is shadow ban, and I put already that is not made for kids, and I learned that's why I'm shadow banned, because I made content not made for kids. Because I swear, and I don't care, I will keep doing. This is my way. I'm not a journalist. I'm just speaking my mind and trying to talk about who is speaking the truth. So I would love to talk to more people and say, like, okay, what is your source? Let's examine, in a Zoom meeting, this content, instead of everybody calling each other like a conspiracy theory and your evidence is fake, is planted. What can we believe nowadays? Which evidence is truth and what is garbage? Because apparently the Supreme Court is not even checking evidence. They are throwing the process through the window, like not even accepting. If they were like, no, we're going to examine your evidence and your evidence is garbage, it's okay. I'm fine with that. Okay? Because we should examine evidence. That's why we should all read all these Bibles and see how much garbage is reading and all of these things. But we need freedom of speech in social. The problem is like they don't seem to be doing that. The problem is like there is more of talking about regulating social media because it spreads misinformation. And a lot of people just nod, you know. It's sad. It is wonderful to be the only gay in the village. Where do you live? You're the only gay in the village? Because here, you certainly not the only gay here. Rumble is an interesting. So many platforms. Is there any way to post in one platform that will feed all the other platforms? Because I'm really not willing to open another page or platform. It sucks. Fox New mainstream media. Well, there is. I don't watch Fox News. What do they say? I don't watch any of them. CNN, Fox News. I just like see what people are talking about on Twitter, and I've talked to for like if you watch the conversation with Yarenbrook, all the evidence for him is like throw everything through the window because there were some that were fake. And it's like that is a really good way of gaslighting people too. When you plant one fake evidence and I say, oh, all the evidence is garbage. Now just dismiss everything. I don't know. Look, I'm just curious, okay? I'm not Biden. I'm not Trump. I'm curious to know who is speaking the truth because there is a lot of, let's say, garbage. And probably there is a lot of evidence. Is that video of the planted ballots table and everything fake too? I think it's in Georgia. Oh, the oil. Yeah, you talk about the Middle East. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was talking to you about. Like, yes, we now we know why. But what did they say before? What was that before? Huh? Human rights? And oh, Saddam Hussein was such a no. We had to fuck with Saddam Hussein because dictator, and then with Osama bin Laden because he was the terrorist. And but we're still there now because just because we need to help poor people that will never do better without us. Something like that. Very condescending. Oh, I wish I could have more time to do more stuff. Is that forum like Discord? I would love. I have been very out of even my Discord and Freebird Media Discord. I trying to do like live streams just to show people I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm still alive. I'm just really drawing on like a lot of conversations and of course now Christmas preps. So I spend the weekend like you guys saw wrapping those gifts. A lot of empty boxes just for looking really nice house since we cannot have any Christmas celebration, in fact, receive anybody. So yes, when we were talking about the Middle East and I was talking about Iraq, the Iraqi, uh, yep, the Clintons. There's message. America is screwed? No, that's definitely not true. You guys still on top. Definitely not. Just need to take. It's easier. Imagine if you guys screwed, you just need to take back on the track and you guys is still on top of everybody else. It's much easier than like, oh my gosh, you need to fix Brazil. Oh, now you're talking about problems. You need to go to every single sector and redo it and kick government out of it in the case of Brazil. But I would say that's a good solution for the United States as well. So maybe vote libertarian. Maybe try more libertarian next time. Neither of the left or right has intention to reduce government as libertarians would have, but at least we have to make an objective analysis of that most of politicians today are not left or right. Even Trump might not be Republican, but was what he would fit better and what he would have good weapons to fight for. Like he could fit then well with the religious stuff, with being more conservative, or being old and stuff. And the Biden took the other side, but the problem of either sides is they are more they have more tendencies toward authoritarianism. You know, the horseshoe theory. Uh, yeah, when we talked about that, for me, what I tried, Austin, when I tried to bring up the oil was because like I was trying to say like we should not believe mainstream media or this, and then I was not saying Fox or CNN. I was saying like what they all reverberate, they all repeat. One say, the other one like, this is a good excuse. Let's start saying that. And then they start like sometimes even take the same argument to be pro and con something or someone, you know. This behavior, this propaganda coming from TV, from mainstream media, our experience proves that they were always lying to us. When we now know that oil was the intention, and they would never tell us this before until we figured it out. And now they're like, oh, you guys got us. You guys caught us. Now we're gonna have to tell you, yes, this is the oil, or not even, or don't even talk about it anymore because they were caught in the lie. So why now we should be like, you know what? If someone stole the elections, and they will definitely not raise their hands again, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. We should investigate and go after it as much as possible, not start, this is just fake, 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 because, I don't want to see it. I'm a skeptic. I'm a very skeptical person. So I'm going to just doubt, I'm going to doubt until someone makes sense of it, prove it. Like to just say like, oh, we just dismiss it, it doesn't prove there was nothing wrong. Just saying. Oh, now other people talk about the even underground conversation, huh? About the oil would be more for war, for trying to incentivize the war, because some people make profit of selling weapons and ammo to terrorists. Yeah, who? But there is no fucking evidence, huh? Maybe it wasn't those computers that she destroyed. But funny enough, this should be like, imagine if you guys like, Fanny, I think you have something bad on your computer. Give me your computer for analysis. And then what do? I destroy my computer. Would you guys not doubt me just a little bit more? No, just saying. I don't know. I got very suspicious of that move. What about the Hunter Biden computer? So it's like, okay, if I'm taking any side right now, I'm definitely taking more like Trump's side, but it's because like people kept investigating Trump for fucking 4 years, could not find out that they fucking evidence for Russia collusion. And then after that was dead, we heard that apparently it was Hunter Biden, the one that had connections with Ukraine and Qatar. And that Biden has got like 10% of companies in China? What? But no China collusion, no other collusion, Not that Biden had meetings with Obama and closed doors, investigating Trump in the election before. That is fine. Imagine if Trump had meetings with anybody now, like if Trump was not running for president, okay? If Trump was not running for president, it was like Tulsi Gabbard was running for president, and then Tulsi and Trump in closed door meetings against Biden. Everybody would be like, freaking out, pulling all their hairs off, completely. cutting, yeah, shooting them, jumping off buildings, going crazy, yelling on top from the top of their lungs. you know but when that happened before, that's fine, because because nobody likes Trump. It's like, man, I'm like that person watching that movie when the little boy was bullied the entire 4 years of school, and when he wins in the end, I'm like, oh, finally, at least, shit. Sorry. I swear so much. uh, that's why I use a lot of stories too. Like, if you stop swearing, you could stop saying sorry. I guess I like it. uh, the video is very real, no way that can be faked. You saw that video? You saw the video? The ballots from the under the table, they plant the table, and then they put suitcase on the table, and then whenever, okay, gap, everybody go to sleep, let's go take a rest, and then they start like, nobody's gonna count, okay, and then everybody leaves, and then they come back with very suspicious attitudes, pulling ballots from under the table, counting that with what, at least someone else was like, okay, so it's not from my, it's like, I did not dream of that video, huh? You guys saw that too. So what was the fake thing about the Dominion? I heard that it was okay. No, it's the Venezuela part is fake, or that Dominion was not a company that was here in Canada and closed its doors in the end. I'm not sure. You want to go to Brazil? Wait for the Corona pandemic to get solved. I don't think they are having much fun over there. Not like, if you're young, you can get the Corona, get over it. Like, no, I don't think there is much problem with it. Thank you. It's not drawing. I could probably draw this, no problem. And I might probably try to do this on my tablet with my new pen. No, like now learning has as to draw in computing instead of a paper. But this one, I actually get my posters on Walmart. I'm a Walmart fan. I'm a Costco and Walmart fan, pretty much. Oh, it's magnet. So, oh my gosh, I saw someone type extra down there. I'm like, wait a minute. Where is that? Yeah. The point, I think, the you when you say right and libertarians are in a coalition, it's more like, because most of libertarians, or let's say like this, we understand we can be libertarians and dream of an anarchist world in like 200 years, let's say, and that might be far, it could maybe be closer, okay. I'm just being like, giving time. We might understand, most of libertarians, reasonable ones, that we cannot transition from this actual government to a libertarian, completely libertarian or anarchist world. And that should not be the defense. People have been attacked, have been attacking Adam Kokesh, thinking that he is like, oh, he's a complete anarchist. It's like, in a sense, yes, but in the sense of a local level. He said, like, for a dissolution of the federal government as the master that will send to tell each state or each municipality locally what to do. And that is what he is again. And I believe that is probably possible. We could manage and govern and rule ourselves in smaller governments, regionalized, much better than a huge government as United States or Brazil, that are huge countries try to do. That's why it's so difficult to manage, because it's so heterogeneous in density, you know, of population, and also in resource and money making. In, for example, now in the United States, every election, the discussion about how the ballots, how the representatives, how the votes are counted, and how some states are so big have low votes, or other ones have so much, how it's unfair, and people were always unhappy about that. How you have places in Canada that still want to separate because for some reason they want their own government. They don't want to deal with people on the other side that has not to do with them. Why people on the other side of, why people here in West should decide anything about is no. I in that sense I actually think they're right. And I don't think we should force people to stay in if they want to leave, because that is almost like kidnapping, like when you talk about people. Imagine you come to my house and like, Fanny, I want to leave now. You're like, no, you're not leaving. And of course, I'm doing a bad analogy because you did not start from the sense that you are part of the house. But and the states, let's say, like if Quebec wants to separate, or even south of Brazil wants to separate, or north of Brazil had once wanted to separate, and Brazil would probably work much better if it was three different countries than one big one mismanaged. So a lot of conversations around that too, but I don't think it's nice to force people to stay when they want to leave. So I'm for like Brexit, for example. Okay. I think if people want to leave, let them go. Let them go, please. We're not gonna put guns on you and again, no, you're staying here. The beautiful thing of all those Cuba, China, North Korea, beautiful examples of communism, where the guns are turned inside to keep the people that are trying to run away. Which amazing places that we want to make our place now, too. We don't want to transfer. I don't think so. We all have here from, like most of us here in Western society, we have those oppressive governments like the United States that have guns turned outside to, if any invader, I don't know the word. Now I got it. It's in Portuguese. Okay, invader. Okay, it's in Portuguese I was speaking. If any invader wants to enter your house or your country, you're gonna stop them from harming your people, and like, that makes sense. It's like legit defense. I will turn my guns to outside, and not inside. To like, my daughter not gonna leave the house, my husband not gonna leave the house. No, it's like the gun here if there is anybody trying to invade our house. And the same thing I believe would be a great country if your country is trying to defend its nation, its people, population. But when the guns are turned inside to keep the people inside because the people want to run away, yeah, that's probably more what is oppression from the government. But you know how many people, I hope there are not many anymore. In Brazil was very popular. Che Guevara shirt. Okay. Many anarchists and communists with iPhones. And it makes sense, the communists with the iPhone, because in some way it is bullshit communism, the iPhone. Everybody kind of like pays super expensive to have the fucking same phone. That apparently is not worth so much like that. So, but it is a great machine. I have to give that. I've seen the pictures coming out of it. Amazing. I have to give. And I'm not into technology, so I'm like very bad to talk about, to criticize that. It's like, what is the best phone? I was like, I will only use a phone that I need to call and take some pictures. It doesn't need to be the top. That is an interesting thing. Mainstream media have their 4 a.m. talking points that are given to them by elite. Yeah, that for me is like something that is weird. Look, if it's more like this, you come and say there is this and this happening, and I was like, okay, what is our evidence of it? Oh, we think so. It's more like it did. Like for me, it's like the controlled mainstream media guided by some specific group. It's a little conspiratory. It's a little conspiracy in the sense that's like unless we can find like their meetings. And is that what you talk about the Veritas project? Like if, for example, like those meetings, that type of meeting? Because the Veritas project Veritas apparently shared the is sharing slowly the audios of the meetings that he infiltrated for like a month in their Zoom meeting on the CNN. What is this? Let me is a media arm of the Democratic arm. Yeah, we should to the anti-vaxxers as well. Yes, anti-vaxxers is another hot potato, okay? And let's say why. Because anti-vaxxers before were people that would come with arguments as vaccines give autism to your kids. And so many people, not only people involved in health and medicine, have talked how there's no evidence, it's a false positive bias of bad method with broken methodologically studies. Like they have like complete garbage methodology questionnaires to try to link autism to vaccines with no biological or physiological or pathological study involved in it, okay, to prove it. It's just like I think so, therefore it is. It's like me trying to say like, oh, are you, no, you bring to me that you afraid of something and I try to ask you about some other fear and link those two things or some event and I say some type of Freudian uh, study, oh, you feel this because of that. It's like not necessary, like, and there is no um, evidence of link in reality. It's just guessing. I have a great person for you to interview. Who is that? Oh, I would love to. If I could, huh? Sure. Okay. If I speak Spanish, no, I don't. I speak Portuguese. That's right, Andrew. Thank you very much. Um. So where? Oh, I skip it. What? Where did I go? So fast. So yeah, the vaxxers, the anti-vaxxers, those anti-vaxxers in the past came from like no scientific study or basis and just garbage, Freudian biased link guessing. Okay, let's say like that. It's a huge, big pile of garbage for sure. And now we're talking about a possible COVID vaccine. Okay, what does it imply? It's a new type of vaccine, okay, that being tested quite largely, let's say, uh, recently. So we don't dismiss that there is like 40,000 people have been tested with this vaccine. So far, since safe, and that's what they keep reproducing and reverberating. It's what is resonating what is resonant in the mainstream media now. It's anti-vaxxers trying to put the anti-vaxxers, or trying to give people that would be skeptic or afraid of long-term results of this COVID, new methods and techniques, vaccines. They want to say, like, those people afraid of the new vaccines, or just like the anti-vaxxers before. And that's not true. Okay. And I'm going to defend why. Because I would be with half a foot in that square of the, if that is going to be the name, anti-vaxxers, the new people, the people that are skeptic and afraid of the long-term result of the COVID vaccines. Now, if we're going to just be called anti-vaxxers, that's fine. I'm fine with the title, even if I think it's dishonest, because we have very different reasons to suspect or to doubt or to even question the, if not the efficiency only, but the results of this vaccine in the long term run. Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard how the vaccine is made. It's a totally new and different method in lab that we never used before. We have look, all the vaccines we have until the corona vaccines were vaccines of live virus that were weakened in the lab. So we just give you the virus itself that would give you the disease, but weakened. Okay, that will trigger your organism, your body, to think you have the disease. The same way, sometimes we don't use the virus or the bacteria, we use parts of them, just like a part of the cell, the skin cell of the protein, the skin, the membrane that revests the virus. We just give a little piece of that membrane, and in your body detects that protein and gets triggered thinking that, oh, there is this virus in the body, and that's how we vaccinate people. So vaccines are like your natural response to weaken virus or parts of bacteria and virus. Okay. We also use sometimes something stronger than vaccines, that would be the antidote, like when it poisons, or when like rapes, risker rapes, accidents, or whatever. And I'm not going to go through this. What I wanted to say is, like, look, the method that we use vaccines, that we immunize you through vaccines, is actually using your natural response of your body. So you're going to produce antibodies for that disease before you actually have it, and how you're going to stop it from getting into you later. Okay. Now, we also talked about how you using its own product. So it's like, for virus or for flu, we use its own flu virus. So we just give a little piece, or in the case, the weakened virus. So we see that it has an homolog source. Okay, it's the same source, the same virus substance, like the poisons, but the poisons, we're going to use the real poison to get the result, and that we're going to take the immunoglobulins, the antibodies, and give to you. But it's always homolog. It's the same person, and it's the same agent that would cause you the harm. Okay, and that's what I talk about, the homolog. Now, how did they make the vaccines for corona? Do they take coronavirus and give you just a little piece of it? So yes, is what I actually believe that before, that's what had been talked about some vaccines, because now there are many, and I'm not sure about, not talking about types, like specific, like the brands and types, because I'm not aware of that so far, so deep like that. But what I watched, the videos that I saw talking about how is genetic manipulated, because that was something brought in family and doc and physicians group, that it is a different technology. Okay, it's a different technique, it's a different lab technique. Instead of taking corona weaken the virus or take parts of the virus and inject you and make your body respond to it, they are actually taking other virus, manipulating it genetically, and trying to put parts of the virus, the coronavirus, in it to trigger your response. What has happened so far is that some people have been diagnosed, have been tested false positively to AIDS, because now their body have had received AIDS particles, and the body understand that, oh my gosh, this person has AIDS, and it's not true, it's just a fake response. So good if keeps just really doing that, but it's, imagine how scary it is. Like, I'm gonna go take a vaccine for corona and then I get tested positive for AIDS after it. Hopefully it's just that your body got that particles and produce immunoglobulins against AIDS, and that's what we tested. Hopefully, okay, that is what they are claiming right now. But now what is the risk? Because I don't fucking care about AIDS. I would prefer have AIDS than have C hepatitis. At least it has a treatment. Not neither of them has cure, but AIDS we can control symptoms and it can give you cocktails to regress or to hold the progression of the disease, okay, to slow down the progression of the disease. Going back to what is the risk of me taking a different virus to try to inoculate you with a other virus? For me, is that what we don't know what's going to happen. We didn't know what's going to happen. This that they are claiming just happened, they figured out, it's super easy. It's just that's what happened. People are going to be false positive for AIDS now. So we kind of, did we create a vaccine for AIDS or we created a fake AIDS condition? I don't know. Let's see what's going to be the next step. But one thing that is very cloudy for us, but we all have an idea that happens, is that infections, they pile up in your historical physiological in your physiologic history, and it's a question that we ask you later when you have any other disease: what are the infections you had, what are the vaccines you took, and that can be piled up because we have a few virus infections in early ages that seem to trigger later conditions in the body. That's how we actually are using virus to manipulate ourselves genetically. We know how already manipulate small losses. One unique locus of gene. Okay, we can actually manipulate them. And the virus, now we're talking about, like, it could be, and I don't want to go to the slippery slope of can give you anything, but that actually is the fear of a lot of people, that understand that we don't know all the possibilities and we don't understand how far that can modify our gene. So now we talk about people even considering that I could be giving you a vaccine now that will give you in 20, 30 years a pancreatic cancer. I don't know, because the virus and the manipulation genetic could go there and change a lot that I did not program. It happened. It was just a process, a response in the middle of a cascade of events. Okay. And for me, now talking about personal level, in my experience, in my personal beliefs, I prefer go through corona because I believe I have a good health condition, that I think the corona will be a smaller risk than me taking a vaccine that I don't know the result in 20, 30 years. It could be that the corona is a bad virus, like a zoster that I didn't want to have, like a varicella zoster, the VZV. And now I had, because everybody just thought, it's just chickenpox. It's a terrible virus that it stays in your inner version, and later you're gonna have other problems because of it. So that's why later we like no, give vaccines. It's better get the vaccination than to get the disease. That is a very risky disease, and to have the virus in your body sleeping forever. That's some of the virus we want to stop. Maybe they know more about corona than that, what we want to avoid. But now, by the lack of knowledge of the risk with taking the vaccines, I would still go through the natural way. At least the people that can go. Because even when we talked about not knowing everything, or knowing less than we know now, I was for let's keep the vaccines for the people that cannot or that should not run the risk to go through the infection. Let's save the vaccines for the old people. And even consider, and that's another very important argument, that the trials are being run, are being ran on old people and first responders. Okay, and my argument is like, are they considering the bias of is these people the ones that get that die after getting the vaccines or sometime after, that they all died from corona because they were risk patients and in contact with those diseases and the more vulnerable ones, or they're going to really be tested and maybe what's killing them is the vaccine. So I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. uh, Not even going through the fear of a possible mutation or something like what we've seen in the I Am a Legend movie. Is like one of my favorite movies. Will Smith is fantastic, and that movie is quite amazing. And that I just impressed that how that movie made it came from made that example that they built to, and I think that was the director trying to make sense in the reality or in the nowadays, because it was a remake of a note. Yeah, that's how happened. I kind of like it, it's so long I watched that movie. I'm gonna watch it again and do like my movie reviews. The way that they put that the movie, the plot was they were trying to make a vaccine to prevent cancers with the old virus from measles that has been eradicated for quite a while. Not completely anymore because people didn't take the vaccines in the last decade or few years recently, and now we have new cases. So yeah, the problem with the anti-vaxxers. But of course, vaccines are not always good, mainly when they were not tested enough or when we have not waited time enough to see long-term results of them, okay, effects. And definitely vaccination should never be forced. Okay? People should be allowed to take risks. People that don't want to take risks take the vaccines. And the people that are vaccinated have no risk at all from the non-vaccinated ones. So the anti-vaxxers is bullshit. Okay? We don't need to cancel them. We can let each one decide if they want to take vaccines or not. And government should never force anything in individual level, because the government is there to defend the smallest minority, that is the individual. I'm gonna become a politician. Holy shit, I don't like that. I'm gonna play online just like you, Sargon, till I get to play politics. I will hate and I will quit. I'll not become a politician. But my father once tried to be something in office. To be honest, didn't work. Didn't get any support. Thank you. You sent me a message. Yes, I'll check it and I'll reply. Thank you very much. We can talk about whatever. You want to come chat on the channel about something? It would be a fun. I would love to hear your perspective of this. It is complicated. It's multiple part scheme that is on purpose. Maybe it's not even architect. Imagine that all these individuals are working by themselves, and it happens to, to pile up and feel like there is like such a conspiracy. Maybe it could be they are just like being themselves. Just like when you say like, oh, there is some type of a propaganda or agenda. Maybe not. Dark Matter 2525 made a good video talk about how the agendas could be just natural being and expressing themselves in the way that fiction, like how we try to put on the fiction real life, and we give like which one comes first? And like it might be the real life comes first, and we just shine the lights with the mainstream media showing. And I'm very skeptic that that would be like a type of agenda, or showing that would make more people do behave or do like that. Depends on what comes with, like the subtitles. Is that the subtitle of like someone uh doing a meme, like a bad meme, and inviting other people to do? It is still inviting a lot of people to do, because if it's not questioning the act, and if it's just inviting, for example, like that meme, the lady opened the ice cream and lit it. If the person that shared that meme would say like, look at this nasty lady doing this nasty thing to other people, nobody would do that. It would be more judgmental, and everybody would just point finger and say like, ew, you don't do that, this is so disrespectful. Instead they shared like, oh, like a challenge, there you do it, or do it with me. And then a lot of people start doing too. All of the fucking idiots decide to do it too. Of course, a lot of people that have the reason and logic flag went up and like, hey, wait a minute, don't do it. And the response came fast as well, right away. But I think it should definitely not erase history, for example. Which is why state government supersedes federal. They should. The federal government should be a small set of rules, and it should be small enough to not be complicated, and simple enough to everybody to be able to follow. Mhm. And then let the local level decide more of the people's questions, and of course, and be able to step out of the answers too, like, look, this is not my business. When people come say, for example, okay, a good one that is a big problem for a lot of people in the United States: abortion. Oh, government should or not allow. It's like, look, we're gonna put a minimum age, and that's gonna be the rule. If you do out of this time, we're gonna probably put you in jail. You and the doctor that did the shit, okay? But listen, I'm just telling you a recommendation. I'm not telling you to do it, to not do it. And by the way, I'm not giving it to you. So it's your personal business. You want to do abortion? Do it. It's like these people that like, I'm against abortion. It's like, why? Oh, because I don't want people to kill their kids. Like, it, it's not your business. I don't want anybody to kill my kids. Like, of course, nobody's gonna fucking get you pregnant on the streets and like, haha, surprise abortion. No, that's not happening. So stop the bitching. See, stop the bitching. Nobody would be like left and right crying that should or not. Like, no, the person that has the belly with the baby inside is owner of the body that the being is dependent on. She is gonna decide. We're gonna give a little bit more rights to the man to say she wants the baby, but I don't want, so I have no financial responsibility. We're gonna give that right to the guys. They should have that right, because now girls cannot just, I'm gonna be pregnant and I'm gonna force him to be a father. Like, no, there's no fucking shit. Be parenting, and when she start crying that I but he's keep like, you skip the process, because when you want the guy to be responsible for your kid, you date him, you get married to him, and then you guys make a plan and have kids together. He apparently did not consent any of this shit. He is not responsible for your kid. You can have you want to have the baby because you wanted to have a baby anyways, you can keep the baby. It's your responsibility. It should be like opt out. The guys can opt out to have the babies if they don't want. There's no bullshit. Because the girls can use, they can use condoms, they can use pills, they can say no, they can ask the they cannot have sex if they don't want. For example, abstinence is not what I indicate. I just said there are a lot of other methods. Condom is the best one because we will also protect you from the disease. Because having a baby, that's fine. You can give to adoption, okay? You don't want to get AIDS or hepatitis C. That is a bitch. But I'm taking way too long. There's an hour and a half. Guys, thank you very much for coming. I'm not going to be able to read all the comments. Okay, I'm gonna try to go over here, but I don't have my glasses, and that's also makes really hard. I'm squinting all the time, you guys can tell. And if I had my glasses, it would probably happen the same, because they're kind of a weak right now. Oh, what did I? Oh my gosh, so much. I cannot really. Oh, like there is like companies for mainstream media, and they are all tied, and there is like, it's like the monopoly of ideas for the mainstream media. That's why people should consume other things out of the box. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. There is a vaccine still. You wanted that? Oh my gosh, we need to get together. Oh, now they changed the UK saying it's not safe. And that's my problem. See, if we go like completely like gullible to them, we're gonna get harmed, and in the end they're gonna say like, oh, I'm so sorry, but there's nobody to really blame, because we did not have any bad intentions. That's what happened when people get hurt by those big companies, and even like those bad recommendations when they said don't wear masks, wear a mask, and now they force you to wear a mask that doesn't really protect you from any fucking thing, just like facial decoration. I want one written moo. The other side, like, yeah, one obey, and the other side moo. So I can wear for both sides, whoever, it fits both audience. But yeah, it's, oh my gosh, so much to talk about. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, Austin. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for commenting. Thank you guys for passing by and leaving comment and everything. And let me know what you guys want me to talk, because now for the rest of the year, I might not interview anybody. Let's see. Sometimes some people show up. I still have quite good names for books authors, and maybe for the atheist community I could bring someone before the end of the year, but no plans and no promises. Okay, we're close to Christmas, and that's what I'm about to do. I just come say happy holidays, get ready for the vacations or preparations or celebrations, whatever you guys doing over there. Okay, hey baby, you were there all the time. Oh, you have sun over there? No, here doesn't look like it. It's pretty gray. But I'll try to go outside and do some stuff. There's more Christmas little things to do. I'm gonna share probably on Instagram the homey and parenting and decoration plans and stuff like that. Go check out the other stuff. Thank you very much for coming, and I see you guys next video. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.